I'm just gonna think that it's working. I have this thing on top of some boxes. It says there was a USB indicator. I really had to push that in. So my name's Anthony, and I mean, some people kind of know me by another name. Some time ago, when you're looking at potential mutual friends of elementary school and all that stuff. I hope this is working. I used to have a Fifine microphone, and it was just so nice. It had this like visor thing on it. Everything's cooling down once again. Autumn season. I saw a meme saying it was autism season. I broke one of my Halloween decorations that I've had for probably about 5 years now. And yeah, I don't even know if this thing's gonna work. Zeal Sound, I got this on Amazon for probably about $30. Some of these wood boxes I made in high school, and some of them have some really important memorabilia and people I've lost. Notes and handwritten letters from certain people that probably don't matter anymore because they were, religious and trying to mentor me, and I don't even want to reference who they were. And I concocted a video. I don't even know what the topic's going to be, but it's going to be mumbo and jumble around. Should be a topic. I don't have any point forms or notes that I took off. This is just off the top of my head. Maybe breaking away from the norm, or trying maybe just dealing with an anxious life constantly. Yeah, what can I say? There's certain things where I just become halted on live streams and all this other stuff because people think that it's all come down to me. But if there's no one in a chat, I'm not going to say anything. I think there's been a lot of cycle repeat, and the brain fog that I deal with is just massive. It's just present, overbearing in my life. And I've kind of loosely written a little bit today for my dead friend Tanner. I see a lot of stuff with him that people just insult him basically when he was around and probably when he's gone. And I just don't get that. It's just cold and cruel. And yeah. But he was a really close person to me, and I've lost countless people, a handful of people that have taken their own life, and my great uncle was one of them 3 years ago. But some of those people, I was really close, but nowhere near close with me and Tanner. And it just would be nice, and I owe it to him. I feel like I'd owe it to him to write something about me and him, about how he made me felt about him, and that I kind of supported him as a friend, in the sense that it was long distance, we're for a few provinces away in her own country, and talked about visiting each other. Never did. Uh, yeah. Someone said to me, "You just can't." I don't feel like guilt myself with anything, but I am just wish I would have known sooner, and maybe was kind of included on some of the family stuff with him, because he considered me his family, and I didn't know what to think of it then. I didn't know what to think of it now, because it's like, whoa, family, but we're not boyfriends with each other or anything. Yeah, and the whole dating thing. I just started getting on dating through. Oh yeah, I'm back. I'm back on Grindr again. Through my new Facebook, they let me make this new account, and for a long time, for a few years now, they they put me on sort of a life sentence of a ban for just defending myself against people saying it's a hookup app. But you can select that you want a relationship, and you still get asked for all that. Hopefully this is working. I've gone through a lot of shit, like trying to, I hate talking about it, but trying to fight for my cat to get him back in my life. I probably have to, I think I'm going to try and pay him a visit tomorrow or Wednesday or something like that. But to get on the thing with the dating, yeah, I'm back on there, and it's quiet. There's not a lot to choose from in the town I'm in. And there's Facebook dating, and I get some cute matches or whatever, and it just would be nice for someone to come here and watch a movie, and see where that leads to. Because I'm not single by choice, but it just kind of tends to happen. I don't want to nudge this. It's still blue, and fall is on the horizon. It's cooling down, like I said, and by the 22nd, it'll officially be here. And it's going to zoom by pretty fast. Like, by the time you get the 22nd and then you get to the 30th, then it's 30, or is there 31 days in September? It might just be 30. Once you get to the 30th, it's like a month until Halloween that goes by, and then just nonsense. So I sleep that day off. Yeah, I don't partake in any kind of Christmas thing. I just hate it. Absolutely hate it. And I'm looking to move. Yeah, if they're not going to let me have a cat here, cat is not a same on the same level as a dog. Dogs eat their own poop and destroy the place, not potty trained, bark, loud, obnoxious. But a cat can be low key, low maintenance, and cuddle with you if they want to, and you can leave them way longer than a dog. When Levi was here, I left him. The longest I left him was 9 hours, just because. That's another thing too. I've recently. That's something strange. So, a little week after my birthday, I bumped into my mom, and I'm like, "What?" Yeah. So I've seen my mom a handful of times, and it's been okay. I can't say that anything for my father. So yeah, I mean, the less I think of all those things, the better. But it's a strange thing, she actually tries or whatever, and I've tried to convince her, because she's like, I'm not going to call these people. He's an adult, and all her lady friends and in the kind of old folks village where she lives at, they're saying, "Oh no, don't do it." Because when I scoot her back after I see her, she wants to call me and make sure that I'm not roadkill or anything. I got the CBD joints the other day, and then I had a little bit of it before I scooted back, and I'm like, oh no. I asked the dispensary store guy, I asked Jake, I guess that's his name. I asked him if they had just CBD, and I looked at it, and it's actually probably 18 or 18% THC and then 14% CBD. I thought it was more CBD, but it is. And just because I mean, I also have CBD oil. I have Day oil that has CBG in it. It can make you feel all right, but it's fast acting when you smoke it, I guess. Then there's some people like, oh no, you should not be smoking anything. But I just felt like doing that. I don't think I'm familiar with this type of pre-roll. It's a 3-pack for $7.95, so $8. So it's not terrible. It's not bad, and seems to be all right. But then again, I don't do much of any of that stuff anymore because I feel like no matter what, it's not going to keep you calm. It's going to stress you out. Even sometimes if your living situation, but that's entirely different thing. And to take my acoustic guitar out, that's because it's not summer anymore, to try and do that, to be inspired to maybe write something. Summer, I never got to absorb anything. I never got to go to nude beaches, nude lakes, docks, and stuff. That was in Victoria. So, yeah. But fall season kicks in, and I don't have the funds to get a lot of these Halloween things I want to get. I'm trying to think about what I'm wanting to be this year. I was looking at a jigsaw Billy puppet costume, because it's like, why go through all the stress? And whoopee, you get a costume, you get it delivered by Amazon or Spencer's or Spirit Halloween, and then you never get to do anything, and then you just play Dead by Daylight. I don't want to play Dead by Daylight. That game just angers me. Yeah, I get fed up with Fortnite. But they don't time you in a rage quit kind of thing. So I thought of Billy the Puppet. Don't know about that one. It could be Ozzy Osbourne. I think I was Ozzy Osbourne once back in 2013, and I went over to 7-Eleven when I was living just more in the downtown area, and then the guy thought I was John Lennon because my hair was not long enough. It was just too thick or something. And I had like black dress shoes and then found this kind of, it gets cold on Halloween, so cold. In certain areas it gets kind of cold. And it hasn't rained a lot here. In Western Canada, so no, it's been a typical summer. People are like, oh, it's hot, and now they're gonna complain that it's winter. But I saw this meme of taken from Mr. Bean movie, where he's just like figuring out how someone shows him to do this or whatever, and he's like, fingers the old ladies and everybody out when he's driving with that guy. Mr. Bean's Holiday. Now that's something lighthearted I can delve into. I have Johnny English trilogy on Blu-ray. I have Austin Powers. I was seeing some clips here on just my past stream. The whole therapy. Illusion. My father made out claims like he invented the question mark and accused chestnuts of being lazy. Rouge lament. Yeah, all that stuff. Don't look at me like I'm freaking Frankenstein. Give me a hug. Huh? Get away from me, Frankenstein. Lazy-eyed psycho. I've also wanted to be something scary. Like, I've seen like Red Eyes, like Grim Reaper sort of a thing, but I wanted to be the kind of a scary scarecrow, like a cornfield scarecrow kind of thing. That would be kind of cool. I can also be Beetlejuice again. I can maybe make my makeup and everything look a little bit better this year. Then again, the Beetlejuice costume that I had, that I got over 20 years ago, I don't have anymore. And that, when you're wearing that out in the fall season, it's still kind of cold, but it was a better look. It was a better suit than the one I got. But the one I got, it's not bad either. It's not bad. There's probably a video of me doing something with it last year. I'm always a nervous Nelly and anxious. I'm in the costume and the makeup, and I'm just going like, because I know how disappointing it is, and it's not something I put on. And then they look at me like, oh, he doesn't look like he enjoys being here. He looks not happy. But I've been storing up a lot of data in my head with stuff I've been watching, videos for, don't let people ruin your freedom or take advantage of you, control you. And I just saw one, this older lady, she said, just become neutral if some people don't like you, and that, like, don't try and change their mind on anything. Just be like, oh, just deal with them that you deal with a stranger or whatever, because they're as relevant as dust in the real. They're as relevant as dust in a rear view mirror. There you go. Fuck. Can't talk English. But yeah, not everyone's gonna like you, but you can't tolerate manipulation and stuff. There are certain people, like what I've heard and back to back, and some of these videos are AI, but they just get to the point of what they're talking. They're just sort of, there's a photo and a video and all that stuff, and they say just to pause, even though you're going through adrenaline and all that stuff, and you're only the person to defend yourself when no one else can. So it gets a little exhausting. But with that, where am I going with this? Yeah, there's some people that are only hired and are only trying to surround your life that are committed to not understanding you. And you can go over there and try and try and do an explanation about who you are, what your motivation is, what you're trying to do, how genuine you are, and then they wouldn't get it. They would still try and alter it, verbally, and try and make you into this kind of crazy little thing. Oh, he got a cat and he shouldn't be here. Yet you take pictures of everybody else's cat. And then you show it to them and they're like, oh, you're making an excuse. You're making an excuse. Well, you know what? Maybe they're in denial. Maybe they're in denial that they don't see that there's other animals here. So, and me, you don't hear any response from them. They just gaslight you and leave you by your side. And it's just, I've had to deal with it all my life. And these things, I know I should do more, but it's just so, like, express myself, trying to write and stuff. There's something in the back of my head, like, saying that I'm not supposed to, or that this feels so different and not as easy to do, and you're vulnerable. So there's that. I think I did way back. I went off track. So I did do this sort of overlay. I think it was kind of overlay of 3 Days Grace back probably 2014 or something. There's a video of them doing a live thing in the studio kind of thing with Gavin Brown, their producer from the original album from 2003, 3 Days Grace's self-titled album. It's so funny seeing him. He has like this shaker thing and he's just like just shaking it. There's a guy I know named Paul, and he has like these headphones and he's at this kind of homeless shelter. And he's there and he's like, just rocking out sometimes with this music. So, but it's funny, just Gavin Brown, he's adding with the shaker. And I did that, the recording of it, I did it to a forest not too far where I live. And I just sang, I just tried to put volume into what I'm singing. So I also have yet to watch this video. I got to do vocal warm-ups too. I haven't really done vocal warm-ups. But I just put my earbuds in. I put one earbud in so I can hear. I don't want to have them both in there. But when I have them in, when I have one of them in, I just sing into my phone, and maybe I'll try and do that sometime and show people what it is, how I go about doing it. Because there's some people that I've never heard of that before. Well, when you don't have the space, the quiet space, and if you were to do a full vocal cover like that, and as like for something heavy, how would you do it? So if the weather holds up and I go into the forest or whatever, there's certain areas where I know no one's going to bug me. And then I just try and do a vocal cover. So that, or just add. And I've done that with my song that I re-recorded, Place I Call Home. I've done that with Lose You, the new Lose You version. I don't even think I recorded Lose You. Probably on my SoundCloud account, something like that. And DistroKid, hopefully DistroKid's not going to take my music away, and I gotta pay them at the end of the month so that I can keep my stuff on there. I'm working on potential new music. One song for Tanner. I have some other stuff that might be kind of angry, kind of 3 Days Grace-ish, kind of angry. My friend Sean was like, "How angry?" I said, "About 3 Days Grace angry, probably." But I'm trying to do my best, and in midst of not being able to have my cat with me, and it's just a little weird and whatnot. And I also have to deal with my really itchy scalp and stomach issues as soon as I eat something, and I just snack when I can or whatever. Throw the confidence out the window. Yeah, but I still try to stay coherent, and yeah, for the most part, I kind of listen to things I've listened to before. Today I was listening to a lot of as I was just trying to clean up and do things, and then everything just kind of gets back to the way things are. I was listening to Arrested Youth. But days ago when I did that 3 Days Grace thing, I just had it in my brain like I want it to almost sound like I'm singing with Matt Walsh to 3 Days Grace or somebody else. And I didn't get copyright infringement, so I did it in a way and added my guitar to that. But Arrested Youth, I think his name is Ian Johnson, and man, he's got some really good stuff. He's got some really good stuff, Ian. And I think the first song I heard from him was maybe. I've also wanted to cover that too in a way to make it sound really good. It does sound really good. I don't think I can do it like him because he raps and stuff, and I'm just like, man, this is just so relevant. Everything. He called the song called Echo. Bright Side. Then there was some other new ones that I'm just like, well, I'm singing along to the words and I'm just hearing them for the first time. That's crazy. Something Dark Reality, Dark Paradise. I think that was one, and carrying on, kind of standing up, taking my life back, kind of a thing, grabbing it by the bull horns, and yeah, no, yeah, yeah, but and you just don't like what the woman said on that last video that I've said that, or with that last video that I was watching. It was probably like 8-9 minute video. She said that, with some of these people, you don't block them, you don't that you just you just kind of stay calm and just go and but if you truthfully, I don't know, because some of these people really hate the truth, honest truth, like you say, well, you can reflect that at me. I'm not making an excuse. I'm telling you a little bit of, I'm speaking about reality right here. There's other cats in this apartment. Why am I not allowed to have a cat? It's like, oh, you did it the wrong way. You did it the wrong way. No. And I got a cat because they don't like me having a cat because pets and animals, for the most part, they're antidepressants. And people don't want you to have an antidepressant. Cat, they want you to be on this, and they said, oh yeah, but I guess he didn't try anything. He tried medication, and we suggested it to him. And I've been a part of all that. I've been a part of all that assessment, the whole fake fabricated lies and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's basically the gist of what I got to deal with. There's so much more than that. There's a lot of time on my phone, tons of times on my phone. Listen down. I barely get the list. Some things just feel intense. I finally got this melatonin. It's 5 milligrams melatonin. It's gummy of melatonin. It's got also passion flower and what else does it have in it? It's got chamomile in it. You could really smell the chamomile. So that will probably be taken. Maybe I'll play. Maybe I'll have it in me to play an NHL game and live stream after. Yeah. Sometimes I take out the games at a library, and you take it out for a week. They don't really have the greatest selection. I thought, I'm going to take out an NHL game. They do have Cyberpunk, but I've been told that Cyberpunk is just for the PS4. Like, it probably lags or glitches because it's just such a developed game or something. Maybe one day. I feel like I don't have the amount of focus, attention span anymore. I used to play Call of Duty, World at War. That's one of the zombies, and that was such a time. You know, I kind of get a little bit nostalgia when there was Sam, this friend I've known since like grade 5, and we never really talked or whatever. We just kind of messaged on. Everything's all messaging, and the same goes for like dating and stuff. And there's even people that say, "Oh, I'm gonna call you back," and so and such. There was this really handsome guy that was 100 or some odd kilometers away from me, and he was supposed to call me like August 30th or whatever, and then he just flaked out with everything and whatever, and then I just didn't understand why. But it takes you so far back, takes you before, like for me, before I had my first band, kind of poster bandish kind of thing, and before I even experienced hearing 3 Days Grace. Like, come on, let's go back to 2002. Like, holy fuck, 2002 when I started at elementary school. I probably went to like over a handful different. I hated school. I probably went to five or six different elementary schools off the top of my head, but I went to one high school, and I didn't mind it there, but I also hated it there. I couldn't wait to get out of there. And I was there for 5 years, from 2008 to 2013. Oh. I've always been a worrywart. I've always kind of been worrying about things I shouldn't worry about. But I'm 30 now. It feels, my attention awareness, there's things I assume I see, and the post-trauma is always there, just rapidly hovering over me, and it's pretty crazy. But there's stuff there, and it's so hard for me to write a song, so I'm just gonna kind of slowly do that. Fuck, if I was just in a better setup, that would definitely be the thing to do. And I don't know how it is for you guys, but I just feel that it's so intense. Really, there's there's so much time that I have for myself, and yet there's supposed to be people here contacting me, coming over and helping me with life, like life skills and whatever, and helping me navigate the laundry and food bank and all these other things. And I never thought I'd still be here asking for support and then backing out, canceling meetings when you know that it's just a game that some people are playing. Some people are playing and they don't know how to support you, and you're catching on to it. And it's like, no. So then I'll just go and do a vocal cover, live stream countless times because I'm lonely and not understand why no one's joining that live stream. Let me know that they're there. Or get lost in a game for a little bit. Or, look at porn. I mean, I can touch on all that kind of stuff, but I kind of want to separate that. At the same time, it's pretty much my life there too, the whole adult fantasy world and all that kind of thing. I mean, I've had Ethan, the drummer from Manskin, give me hearts or whatever. He does it with everyone on comments and stuff. But I said like, give up the whole BDSM shtick of your band, the attire. Just like, because I separate that from my music. If I was at my, maybe there's time for both, but I don't want this YouTube CensorTube, this CensorTube account, when I made it, I didn't make it. I came back to this channel because the other channel got terminated because I posted something that YouTube didn't like. So I had to come back on here, but I ended this, and then 2 years away, and then I did that Redemption cover, and now I've been suffering here in my hometown. Yet again. Oh boy. But there's no one to really talk to and give me the right kind of therapy and never ending empowered support, all that stuff. And I'm also, on top of that, I don't want to leave that out, Youngblood is told that he's the new Ozzy or whatever. No, he's not. And I'm sick of people just saying that he's, he's going, like, what he's doing is sticking out his tongue and doing this whole thing that Ozzy would do. Ozzy would do it for the sake of it being just fun for him. But Dominic, who's known as Youngblood, he's just trying to honor Ozzy. But it's just like, oh my God, when does it get put to bed? They're doing another thing for him, another thing for Ozzy. I understand. I still quite miss Ozzy. I meant they were my first concert, Black Sabbath. I saw them again, and then Billy Talent, and then supposed to be Black Veil Brides. They got denied access to the Canadian border a couple times, and it was Crown the Empire that opened up for them, and Ask Alexandria that played instead. I just thought there was going to be a riot. Then 3 Days Grace, 2018, and then 2022. And then my last one, I finally got to see Black Veil Brides at UBC Arena in Vancouver, October of 2023. So that was the last kind of thing I did. And my last two concerts I went by myself. The other times I went with other people. My dad went with me, but first time with Sabbath. Second time there's an older guy that I met online. Then my friend Lenny, I used to have a friend named Lenny. We went to the other 3 different concerts, Billy Talent and supposed to be Black Veil Brides, and went to 3 Days Grace, definitely. Well, the 3 Days Grace before was Black Veil Brides. We're supposed to. I'm not sure. 3 Days Grace, the second time I saw them was quite amazing. And then there was two handsome guys that were next to me, and I tried everything in my ability to see if they can include me in their nighttime plans. Because I stayed in a hostel, and they wouldn't let me stay, maybe because I booked it with my virtual Visa debit card. That they issued me a new one now, finally. So that's been kind of a little bit of a crazy situation. And I remember staying there when I went to see Blackville Brides when they didn't show up that time. And they let me stay there, maybe because Lenny had they just, maybe because he had a credit card. But remember, I was kind of anxious because I never stayed at a hospital before in 2018, and that was my first time. And he got us a private room, and then we got bunk beds. I had the bottom bunk bed, he had the top bunk bed, and yeah. So yeah, that was the first time, really. But I just couldn't believe it. They were also a bar or pub, as well as a hostel, and I just couldn't believe it. So I had to stay to Salvation Army after that for one night, and then went back to Victoria. I remember there was a snowfall the night before I went to see 3 Days Grace, and then I was just kind of asking someone at the Tudor House in Esquimalt, like, do you like 3 Days Grace? Do you want to go and see them? And yeah, their guitar player called me the R word on Instagram and whatever. And then, yeah, that was back in April. And then there was someone on my game stream when I was playing Dead by Daylight, like, just ignore Barry. Like, maybe the other guys are not like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're all douches. Maybe they're all douches. I mean, you don't say that to your number one fan. You don't say that. You don't. Even if I had a fan, I would never, ever, ever. And it was just the response to his love for Trump and all this stuff. And I'm like, he's acting all weird before then, shrugging. And I'm like, no, okay, don't meet your heroes. And he's like, oh, okay, nice chat. There's a reason why he's the most quiet one, Barry, because he's a fucking retard if you've ever seen one. So the rest of the guys are probably not like that. Who's to know? Who's to say? Who's to say? And I don't know if there's anything up and coming, like Creed. Creed came to Vancouver in August, and I missed that. I never knew anything about it. That would have been a good show. I feel like they're very underrated, and people are like, I hate Creed. I hate Creed. No. Creed is, you know what? Yeah, go back to like 2000, 2003. Okay, probably was like the Chili Peppers and Sum 41, definitely Sum 41. There's some Good Charlotte in there. Good Charlotte has a really good album that's out now. And Sum 41 I never got to see in January. Still trying to read Derek Wembley's autobiography book. So that's going to be a kind of a journey. I might have to just take it out again. And I'm as broke as ever, and I'm trying to do what I can. I try to apply. And I had a phone little thing with this clothing shop area, this clothing shop job. She said, oh, just like think about it. And then she said it's fast paced and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I know. Maybe it's not going to be good to you, but I haven't had anything in like over 3 years officially. As far as last thing I did was 7-Eleven, the little gas station. And before that, I worked at Walmart. No more than a month on two of those different jobs, 7-Eleven and Walmart. And they never made it easy. I think I preferred 7-Eleven. I did not like Walmart. They weren't really nice to me. They were micromanaged and telling you one thing and trying to get on top of your head. But it's been a while now, and I'm so much older now than when I worked at Yeah, Walmart. That was overnight fulfillment and just new. And I think about it, I'm like, I'm not really much of a people person. They're gonna see some like awkwardness or whatever in my long hair, or just maybe I'm gonna have to go through that because sometimes I feel like I'm gonna crap myself some days. Uh, in situations where I feel irritable or just something coming on, and then you gotta go, and then you can't take all the time in the world to alleviate some of your stomach issues or bathroom sort of you know flare ups. So that comes into my life quite a bit. So there's nothing that's going to ease it. There's nothing that's going to really ease it too much. But there's not a lot where I'm at, and there's not help in hand. There's not a guide in hand. Yeah, I'm an adult, but a part of me, another side of me, knows that I can't live on my own really anymore, because financially it's getting really tough. And not only that, but I'm gonna get one paycheck a month, and then I'm just, you know, there's a part of me. It's I see it. I see other people that are enjoying and going out to dinner, whatever. Everything's just so expensive. But even then, when you're on a low income like me, like it just doesn't really make any sense. Like, why do it? And it gets so lonely, and everything, every just thing just feels just so out of place. And even doing this, if you've listened and watched as long as you've have these 47 minutes, that's all I have time for. And thank you. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have time for to say. And just gonna really try and